Hi, my name is Andrei Jikh. Hope you're doing well. Come for the finance, stay for the tips. Just the tip. If you know, you know.
Imposter. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how they created Mini-Me. Hi, my name is Andrei Jikh. Hope you're doing well. Come for the finance and stay for the... One sec. Oh, girlfriend got me a new shirt. $50? Corey, I'm so sorry for all the ads you're about to watch in this video. Too bad I've got ad blocker on. Today I want to talk about the top 7 pro crypto tips for boys and girls of all ages, regardless if you're already invested in crypto or you're looking to get into it. And if you watch this video all the way through, chances are you'll learn at least one new thing. And this is just a video I wish I showed myself way back in 2014 when I bought 6 Bitcoins for $600, which I then sold at a 50% loss to buy myself a drone, which technically cost me $360,000. Hi, I'll be your teacher. Hey, at least it's not as bad as the guy that spent 10,000 Bitcoins on 2 Papa John's pizzas. Papa bless. Let's just get into it, starting with the first pro tip, which is something I got from my friend Graham Stephan, who reminded us to lower our taxable income by selling off our losing cryptos and doing what's sort of called the tax loss harvesting strategy, and then buying them back again without breaking the wash rule. But if you didn't understand what the heck that meant, let me break it down. Let's just say you bought some crypto and on paper, it looks like you're losing money. Now, you could actually use this investment and you can sell it off, and it doesn't matter what you're doing it with, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Omi the homie, and one of several things could happen. Let's say you sold off that losing investment. You can actually use that to offset the sale of an investment where you made money. And if you have an excess of losses, you can actually carry that over and subtract it from your yearly taxable income to get a tax refund at the end of the year. And this is because whenever we invest, we pay for what's called a capital gains rate. And that's a different tax rate than what your ordinary income is every year, because this is where your capital, your money, makes money. You pay a different rate. So in this example, let's just say you sell off $10,000 worth of gains because you made some money with Bitcoin. Cool, now you have to pay some taxes. But let's say you're like, nah, miss me with that. I don't want to pay some taxes. So you sell off $10,000 worth of losses. Let's say you're down on your Ethereum. So that $10,000 of winnings and losses cancel each other out. Now, if you have an excess, you can actually use up to $3,000 of losses to wipe it off of your ordinary income. And I know it sounds complicated, but here's a simple example of how that might work. Let's say you're making $60,000 a year and you bought some Bitcoin that you happen to be down $3,000 on. You know that saying, you don't lose money until you go to sell? Well, in this case, we're going to sell our investments and we're gonna do what's called realize our losses. Because right now, our losses are what's called unrealized, meaning they're just on paper. But once you go to sell, you're like, I realize I just lost some money. Now we're gonna use that $3,000 worth of losses to write off of our earned income. So instead of paying taxes on $60K of earned income, we'll be paying taxes on $57K of earned income. And any losses that you have after $3,000, because remember, you're only allowed $3,000 for the year, that will be spillage that can be carried over to the next year and the next year and so on and so forth. Now, obviously, the more money you get to make, the more money you get to save with this technique because you're in the higher tax brackets. So if you're in the highest tax bracket of 37%, you'd be saving the most money. But then again, you'd also be making like $518,400 a year, so you're probably not too worried about saving $1,110. So that's just a tip. Now, once you sell this investment at a loss, you can actually buy it right back again, which is pretty cool because you can immediately enter the market again. And what's interesting about this trick is that you can't technically do this with stocks. And that's because with securities, you'd break something called the wash sale rule. I petition we change it to the rip and dip. You know, like in an elevator, you rip and you dip. Wash sale rule is supposed to prevent investors from buying a stock, losing money on it, selling, claiming that tax credit, and then buying it back again and doing it over and over again. And that's because with stocks, you actually have to wait 30 days before buying back that same stock. Otherwise, if you don't wait that 30-day period, whoosh, you'd be slapped with a penalty. The penalty kind of works like this. Imagine you bought $1,000 worth of Apple stock at $100 a share, but then Apple drops to $50 a share and you lose $500. Well, you realize your losses by selling, and normally you'd be able to use that $500 to write off of your taxable income. But in this case, Apple drops even more to $25 a share, and you were like, that's just too juicy to pass up, so you buy in and you didn't wait that 30-day period. How could you? In this case, the IRS will not let you use that $500 to deduct off of your income, and instead, that new cost basis of $25 a share is going to be added to your original cost basis, which means it's a good thing because you have to pay less taxes. The easiest way to explain that is kind of like if I give you $100 right now, through your telephone screen, your cost basis in that case would be $0, right? Because I gave it to you for free, 0. That means you are taxed on the full 100. But let's say you gave me $90 and I gave you $100. Your capital gains in that case would be on $10, not the full 100 because your cost basis was 90. So your stepped up in cost basis now allowed you to pay less taxes. That's how it works. Nobody cares. The only thing you have to keep in mind doing this with crypto is keeping track of what you bought each cryptocurrency at and what you sold it at, because if you don't, that is the fastest way to get audited. Pro tip number 2, the best cryptocurrency your money can invest and buy today out of the hundreds, if not thousands of cryptos out there are what you call the blue chips. Now, I'm not saying that you can't make money without blue chips. You can make a ton of money without the blue ones, because there's red ones and green ones, but it's the bluesies you really want to focus on. Still got it. And the two blue chips are, of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, when I say best, I don't mean the ones that'll get you the richest or the quickest. I just mean the best as in that have been around for longer than a few years, that are battle hardened and that have withstood the test of time, ones that have withstood technological and narrative attacks, that have stayed around and still made people money. Now, we might disagree on that, but that's the problem with the crypto space. People disagreeing with me. Now, it's people that treat this stuff as if it was a football team or if it was a sports industry, because people think it's an us versus them mentality. It's like XRP versus SafeMoon or Dogecoin versus Baby Doge or Bitcoin versus Ethereum, and that is completely silly. That doesn't make sense because investing money should be purely objective, and you don't have to think about it in terms of us versus them. It's like imagine talking to somebody who's investing in the stock market and you're like, hey, what you got? Coca-Cola? Ugh. It's all about Enron. Enron went to 0, by the way. So it doesn't make any sense, but a lot of people in the crypto space treat investing like that. But just pay attention to the comment section in this YouTube video. He's a Bitcoin maximalist. I don't even know what that means, but ultimately just ignore it, don't pay attention to it. It creates a toxic environment that can sometimes pressure you to sell off what works to try to gamble your money on becoming an early adopter and becoming an early millionaire. And I understand the appeal of that, but it's just not worth it. No one knows which cryptos are going to become the top cryptos in the next 10 years, but I can almost bet with certainty that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be in the top 2. And if we know that with almost certainty, then why get greedy? Tip number 3, my lord, is the cheapest place to buy your crypto. There's a very famous saying in this industry that goes like this: not your keys, not your crypto. And that just means whoever has access and whoever controls your private key has total access to your entire wallet. And so the place that you think might be the cheapest and therefore the best to use might not necessarily be what you actually want. And Robinhood is a perfect example of this. They've got that beautiful, slick interface that makes it so easy to use, and it feels safe, and it's very cheap, which is also why they made something like $30 million off of Dogecoin traders in the first quarter, which represented something like 34% of their revenue for crypto trading in Q1 of this year. It's crazy, but Robinhood might not necessarily be what you want to use. And that's one of the biggest reasons why crypto was invented in the first place, to give you control over your money. That way you can move that money from your client's pocket and into your pocket. It's a good movie. As a future crypto investor, you might have not known about chain splits. Now, chain splits are sort of like special dividends or special distributions that crypto investors get whenever a crypto coin splits into 2 separate chains. This actually happened to Bitcoin in 2017 when it split between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. Now, if you had 10 Bitcoin, let's say, on chain, you also got an equivalent amount of Bitcoin Cash, and it was pretty cool. Except that was very political. A lot of businesses took sides and they said, I don't want to deal with this Bitcoin Cash token. It's going to take way too many of our resources to distribute this stuff. So it took forever, several months before some people received their Bitcoin Cash. That could be completely avoided if you held that on a cold storage wallet. So that's just something to keep in mind that's really important, because that few month delay could mean the difference between you selling that token for something valuable or have that token go to zero. Another benefit of control and being able to move your coins is that you can actually stake your money into a liquidity pool and earn some interest on it, which right now Robinhood does not offer. That way your money's not just sitting there collecting dust, waiting for other corporations to take risks with it for their benefit. That's a right you should be able to exercise. And just to prove to you that inflation's a pretty big deal, if you had saved $10,000 in 1 year, let's say, because of this year's inflation report, which was 5.4%, that $10,000 right there would actually be worth $9,460 in terms of a buying power. So instead, I would use BlockFi because they don't have any transaction fees, which is awesome, but there's a catch. If you decide to buy your Bitcoin on BlockFi, you're going to be paying roughly a 1% premium for those prices, which is actually kind of big. But the upside is that you don't have to transfer it anywhere, which means you can just stake it right away and start to earn interest, and you can actually set up your dollar cost average so it'll buy your crypto every single day. You can set it and forget it, and it's awesome. Now, if you don't want that option, the other two that are better than Robinhood that I also use is Gemini's Active Trader and Coinbase Pro. Both of those are great because their Bitcoin prices are much more accurate, but their transaction fees are also higher, so it kind of balances out. Now, all of those platforms are free to use. There's no subscription fees. You can get started right away, and I'll leave all the links to that down below. Tip number 4, now that you know exactly which of the cryptos are the best, you know where to buy them, you know how to make money on them, even when you're losing money, let's talk about the hardest question, which is, how do you know when to buy them? When do you buy the dip? And the answer is, you don't buy the dip buys you. So as far as timing and knowing when to buy it, just don't try it unless you have 8 hours a day, 7 days a week to devote to staring at chart patterns, which personally I wouldn't find enjoyable unless it's just to edit YouTube videos. I could do that for 8 hours a day because that is what I do. For 99% of people, the best way to time buying Bitcoin is just to ABC. Always be. That just means dollar cost average. So if you're making $60K a year, set aside no more than 10% of your yearly income, in this case $6K, which you can then spread out monthly into $500 limits or daily into whatever it is you'd like, and that is dollar cost averaging. Or you can invest the whole thing, $6,000, which is called lump sum investing. And research shows that lump sum investing is going to give you the bigger return, while dollar cost averaging is going to give you a smoother ride. By the way, lump sum investing doesn't always give you the bigger return, just most of the time it does. Works half the time, every time. And tip number 5 is the best way to store your crypto that is the safest. Now the answer is, it depends on your risk tolerance. If you're somebody who doesn't like to take risks, then the best is cold storage, and there's a ton of those devices out there. My favorite is the Ledger Nano. It works, I've made a video about it, but if you're somebody who does like to take risks, then the best thing to do is just keep it on a reputable exchange. You could stake that money online and have that money earn interest for you. Otherwise, it's not gonna earn interest in cold storage. Tip number 6 is for everyone who always wanted to get into crypto, but you're just like, I don't know about this stuff. I'm not tech savvy. You're sort of stuck in the middle. You're not sure what to do because the price is just way too crazy for you, but you're like, I want some Bitcoin. The best strategy in that case is just to buy stocks of companies that are exposed to Bitcoin. And that's stocks like Riot, SOS Limited, MicroStrategy, PayPal, Square, Overstock, Tesla, Facebook, JP Morgan, Visa, and of course the best performing stock of all time, Coinbase. And with the exception of Coinbase, all of those stocks will be perfectly fine even if Bitcoin disappeared tomorrow. Except also maybe MicroStrategy, because Michael Giga-Chad Saylor owns all the coins. And tip number 7 is to get yourself a Bitcoin credit card. And I don't mean like a credit card that allows you to spend your Bitcoin. There's a ton of those out there, but you don't want to be spending your Bitcoin because it goes up in value over time. Instead, get yourself a credit card that rewards you Bitcoin. And the best one that I found is BlockFi's newest credit card. He's a paid shill. I'm not a paid shill. I'm only paid if you apply using my link down below, in which case, if you get approved, then I'll get paid. But regardless if you you use my link or not, just get yourself one of these. It's absolutely free. It does not affect you, even if you don't get approved, because the only time they run your credit score is once you get approved and once you actually apply for it. So it doesn't affect you in any way, but it works exactly like a credit card, where for every dollar you spend, you will get rewarded in Bitcoin. So again, not a cashback card. I'm supposed to tell you that, or else their legal team comes after me, but use it for everything and start to earn some passive Bitcoin and stack those sats. As always, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and go grab up to 2 free stocks from Webull. When you deposit $100, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $2,300. Go get up to $250 worth of free Bitcoin using this BlockFi link right here. Go get that credit card. I believe the signups are now open, and then go track those free stocks from Webull with the spreadsheet linked down below in my Patreon. Love you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you back here on Monday, Friday, sometimes a Wednesday. I'll see you soon. Take care.